or to make it kind of open for everyone in the class to see. And when we do that, we need to do some special things. So we're not allowed to just have students' information online and their student numbers online because of privacy restrictions. So what we do is we take the data we just created in the way we want it, and now we go ahead and present it a little bit differently. So here we can make the fonts bigger or more bold, and here we can add stars to replace the names or the numbers or the emails. Let's take this example here, the Chinese name. What we do is we go ahead and we write an array formula, and if A2 and A is not all the way to A, all the way down, is not empty, that means if this is not empty, then you go ahead and you grab it and you replace part of it with a star. And that's what we've done here. As you can see, all the way down it gets replaced with a star. We do the same thing with the name and with the student number. And then what we can do is we can take this bit of information here and we can open this publicly for our students to see by giving them a link to just this section of the page, or we can put this on an independent document, a Google Doc, and we could publish it using the publish to HTML, remember? We looked at that in another case. We go ahead and we could say share and publish to the web. And that way they wouldn't be able to see the details or any other information, but they could quickly get an update on who's enrolled in the class, what class type did they choose, what group are they in, and did they pay for their materials, and did they get the link sent to them so they can check their email. Now this code is especially easy to write because, again, we don't need to change it for every row. We just write it once at the top because we're using the array formula. So let me go ahead and grab that. If I take that away, we're going to see this whole column is gone. Why is it gone? Because we only needed to write that formula once. We didn't need to write it many times. It's not changing its parameters based on like student number. It's just grabbing the data that's on the other side of this sheet, grabbing the information that's over here, and then just changing it, modifying it all the way down. And the same goes for here and here and here and here and P. All of them are the same. We just use the array formula. Now, it's important that all of these stay lined up. So we want to make sure that this person here is the same as this person here, because we're grabbing the array and we're just copying it over, making some changes to the text. So you need to be sure that you're not missing data or something's happening where it's going to skip a line and make these get out of alignment. So once in a while, you just want to pay attention and give it a check. Let's review quickly what we just looked at. We have students choose their groups. So this is their group, their class type, class A or B. Right? They give us some information like their student number and their email, etc. This goes into the database. In the database, we have a series of tabs because we want to organize the data. We also want to combine the data because, for example, we have a tab over here that has their payment status. We want to bring that together so that we can see quickly if they've paid or not. Did they get a contact email? Have they done something that needs special attention? And we do that through a tab. We also create a tab here where we're going to pull out the UI, and we're going to do that through the publish, through web, publish the HTML. Because in this case, there's not a lot of interaction. This is just to help learners see the status of what's going on. And they're going to be able to see all the students, but remember, there's a special thing we've organized there, or we've created there, which is that the names have some stars in them so that we follow the privacy law and that people's information is not just made public. Now, do we need another form? No, that's pretty much it. We're just using this form to get students enrolled, And it doesn't have to be students. It could be customers. It could be people applying for some information from your company, a warranty. And what this does is it's a way to get them organized and easy for the administrator on the back office to quickly see and to combine data together. Now let's go a step further and look at how this actually works in an even next step, a next level of complexity. And that is how we have our student grades here. Now, remember, my class is over 300 students. That's a lot of people to manage. I don't want to be doing this by hand or having to take care of this by hand. So here's my grade sheet for my class. And let's look at this. We have our student information, which we've kind of already learned how to organize because we want to know, are they in class A or are they in class B? Over here we can see are some class A, down here are some class B. And if they're in A, what group are they in? So for example, over here we've got them in groups 1, 5, 6, 7. You see, so the numbers are getting bigger. And then we also want to know, did they pay for the software they need to purchase, or are they ready to do that? And then we also have this point here where we have their names, Chinese and English, and over here, our emails are partially hidden for privacy concerns, right? But we can still show this sheet so everyone can see what everyone's doing and keep themselves on schedule. It's very helpful. This also helps me as the administrator to very quickly see what's going on without having to dig through the data. So the way we did that, as we just looked at, is basically the same thing as we do here. We go ahead and we use a query and we go ahead and grab everybody, but then we organize them in a certain way. We can grab from the modified. We don't grab the raw data, we grab the modified data, which is already organized, so that saves us the trouble of organizing it again. We don't select all the data, but we select just the columns that we want. And then they go ahead and display here. Now as we get over to the right side, we get the more special case of we need to use the query and the select command because we want to show students quiz grades, for example, or their homework grades. And we don't want to just grab any homework. We want to grab this student's homework only, right? And then for this student down here, we want to grab this student's grades only. So in that case, we're going to have the formulas go all the way down. Every cell is going to need the other formula. But you only need to write it once, and then you just drag it down, and Google will adjust the row number for you.